Okay, in this video we are going up with our Nubian Death deck. Of course, the deck code is in the description of this video. Up against a war deck. I can't remember exactly which one it was, but it was a slugfest. It was a very, very battle-y game of racing and back and forth with some absolutely devastating moves to come. So typically I'll kick things off with a pip if I've got nothing else to play, and actually since I don't have any 1-mana drops in this whole deck, typically I'll pip something out just to get something on the board, depending on what I have in my hand. If I have nothing, if I do have something to play on the next turn, I'll instead of floating 1 mana, I'll pip something out and get some presence on the board. Just because I find it really helps with the momentum. It sucks to lose your pip, but losing momentum is also bad. So at this point, I'm kind of eyeing up the Vengeful Suripite. Don't know exactly how to say that, but I'd kind of rather empower it and destroy that 2-mana Warden next turn, perhaps. So I'm kind of hoping here that he destroys my Ruined Asp, and that would actually make it possible for me to bring back to use my empowered Vengeful Suripite on the next turn. And actually, very luckily, he even pips into a Vicious Wren to take out my Ruined Asp, bumping me up to 4 mana. Always good to have your opponent kill that mana boosting card, then you're the first one who gets to use it. And that empowered Vengeful Suripite destroys his 2-mana creature and brings the Ruined Asp right back. I'm sorry, that's that sucks. That feels great for me, and I'm sure feels terrible for my opponent to pip into destroying it and then just to have it brought right back. Thanks to the pip and the Vicious Rend. Ooh, yeah, great for me, not so great for whoever is used against. So in this case, the Malaysian Magistrate is an interesting option. I'm also eyeing up the Necroceptor as an interesting option. But I'm going to drop Malaysian Magistrate down on the Ruined Asp because, again, this deck really starts to shine at 5, 6, and 7 mana, and the faster we get there, the better, and ramping up that mana is great. Also, just making those trades where I can, again, bring back that Ruined Asp, make more trades, ramp more mana, is good for this deck. At this point, we have a fairly even amount of damage on the board. He's got the Protected Odie, and I've got the Ruined Asp, which comes back to life. So he decides to just sort of race face here. He's digging around for some other cards. Not sure what's in his hand, but whatever it is, I guess he wasn't perfectly happy with it. Volca's Captain. I think that's Volca's Captain, right? Or maybe not. I forget. Master Tactician. So his board gets big and wide quite quickly there.
That is not possible.
At this point, I'm kind of thinking, where's my good value trading, right? So Blood Ritual, deal with the Warmonger Smith. Ruined Asp could potentially trade in for mana, and actually, I'm not sure if I made the right play there. I might have wanted to play it the other way around. Trade in with the Ruined Asp and then get her back. But I think I was kind of starting to feel a little bit stressed, not too sure what move to make, and I just kind of made some. Sometimes I do that when I'm worried about the clock. At this point, I'm eyeing up the Sanctum Archer to possibly pop a Protect. And he trades into my zombie. Not too sure what happened to our sound here. Oh, there it is. And this is actually just starting to look like a pretty unfortunately stacked board. That being said, Demogorgon is in hand if we can survive 2 more turns. But 16 health to 21 is kinda... And he's got a couple of creatures which are protected, and I don't have a great trade available other than maybe the Ambitious Adventurer. But I decided I wanted to actually get that ramp a little sooner than later so I could potentially play Demogorgon sooner. That's why I traded in the Ruined Asp there instead of maybe trading into the Trial Spirit and getting the value there. Now, Nephilis Guardian is a fantastic wall at 6 mana, especially with Anubians on the board, because when she dies, she gives a random Anubian +1/+1 and protected. So that can be a really nice buff. Help to make some really good value trades or keep creatures creatures alive. Unfortunately, Vicious Rend subtracts a fair amount of the value that I might have otherwise gotten from Nephilis Guardian. That being said, his board is a little smaller at the moment, but he's still got 5 mana. But he's only got 1 card in hand. So, yeah. That also being said, we're down to 8 health on his 21, and he's got 4 cards, and I've got 1. At this point, of course, there is the game-swinging Demogorgon. There's also Vow of Champions in the Void, or a Sanctum rather. And things are suddenly looking better. There's always a chance when you throw Demogorgon on board. One of the things you don't love to see is that white fur guard. But we do have a nice little zombie on board thanks to the Necroceptor, the perfect little bubble popper. Hate to burst your bubble, but no, I don't. Trading in with Demogorgon here, and then Ruined Asp, just kind of taking some of his creatures off the board. And then Vow of Champions cleans up the Odie, and at this point we're looking pretty decent. Pyramid Warden goes down, and Shield Maiden, sure, why not? Let's get some more stuff on the board. And so this is what I would call a turn of fighting back against what was looking pretty lopsided. Like I say, nobody ever said Demogorgon doesn't swing games, because yeah, it absolutely swings games. It really does. So the God Blitz Size of the Harvest takes out my Warden and brings back a really great high roll for him, the White Fur Guard. It comes back without Protected though, so it could be worse. At this point, of course I'm going to need to get rid of the White Fur Guard, which should be fairly easy since again we have that helpful zombie on board. Zombie plus Ruined Asp, trade into the White Fur Guard. That's what I'm thinking now. I think that's what I was thinking then. Yeah, that's what I was thinking then. And then Demogorgon can swing into face and get a nice big heal and also still be alive, which is great because Empire Reborn on an almost dead Demogorgon makes for 2 fully alive Demogorgons, which are way better. And this is now a turn which, again, Bronze Servant removes Sigh of the Harvest, which I would call a very demoralizing a turn to be on the receiving side of two Demogorgons on board. Your relic is removed, and there's Frontline in the way with a whole bunch of leechy creatures. Yeah, it's ugly. Giving my opponent some time to think here. But this deck in particular is excellent at coming from behind. The number of times I've come from like 2 health or 3 health and swung things around entirely. It happens so often, it's not quite routine, but it's almost routine. Anyway, gentlemen and ladies, hope you have enjoyed today's video. If you feel like supporting this channel, I have dropped both my Patreon link and my God's wallet address. God's token, IMX token, ETH token, or ETH address in the description below. If anybody feels so inclined to send some tokens over, that would be super duper awesome of you. But that is the end of this game in particular. And let's end it with Ragnarok. Oh, alright. See you guys in the next video.